Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna. I'm Rajarsi Dasa. Welcome to Hare Krishna today. On today's program, we're going to continue our discussion, Solutions from the Bhagavad. Yes, just to remind you of the subject matters that we covered. 5,000 years ago, great saints and sages, they assembled at Naimisharanya, and there they inquired from the spokesman of that assembly, Sutta Goswami. They said, in this iron age of Kali Yuga, men have but short lives. They're lazy, misguided, quarrelsome, always disturbed. They said that there are many varieties of scriptures, and these scriptures will take a long time to study and assimilate them, to practice them in their different division. They say, you please select the essence of all these scriptures, that men's heart will be completely satisfied. So then Sutta Goswami, he glorified their question. He said, your question most glorious, because it relates to Lord Krishna, and so it is the best thing for the world's welfare. Now remember, every day in society, questions and answers are going on all over. Srila Prabhupada says, in the schools, questions and answers. The newspaper reporters, questions and answers. In the court of law, questions and answers. The birds in the tree, where is food? Everywhere, questions. But what is that subject matter that will completely satisfy the heart? That, Sutta Goswami said, is loving devotional service to God, and that has to be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. Yes. And then he said the symptoms would be knowledge and detachment. You'll get positive knowledge, revelation of God, and detachment from vices. That will come about. Then he spoke about the work, the occupational duties a man perform is only useless labor if it doesn't provoke attraction for God. Yes, work. Vasudeva Katharuchi. It should produce some attraction for God, for hearing and serving God. Otherwise, work just binds one to this world. So, we mentioned that there is a problem in society today. I'm sure you would agree with me. How often do you see people supposed to be performing their duty and being productive, but rather than being productive, they're just sponging, just trying to get things done the easy way? What does Bhagavad Gita say about that? People have no pride in what they're doing. They don't understand that everything in this world, Krishna said these four divisions, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whether it is perverted, adulterated, this way, that way. But these divisions are created by the Lord so that there'll be harmonious functioning of the world. So when people are godless, if they're teachers, they don't know what's their goal as a teacher, that they're meant to enlighten society and make people progressive. When they're just money oriented, then if money can come their way, the easy way, they don't care whether you learn anything or you don't learn. So formally, Brahminical duty would be A person would just take pleasure in performing his prescribed duty of teaching. Yes. Why? Because a person has faith and conviction in God. That if he performs his prescribed duty, Krishna said, don't be attached to the results. That is not under your control. Karmanyeva dhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalahiturbur mati sangostu karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty. But you're not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the result of your activities. And never be attached to not doing your duty. That lazy man thing. No. So, learning the science of work from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam will do a great deal to help us to have a progressive society. Otherwise, in Kali Yuga, Dui Pari Pashu, society of two-legged animals, who would be peaceful? Every action in ignorance is bringing back a reaction and making life miserable. People perform activities in ignorance. Who is satisfied? Discontented people. So let us hear some more instructions from Bhagavad, how we can actually bring about scientific solutions by having Bhagavad knowledge. People who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of Kali, they shall get light from this Puran. Bhagavad came about at the beginning of Kali Yuga just to give us light. The sages said, we think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we would accept you as captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of a human being. Kalim sattva haram pungsa karnadhara ivarnavam. Yes. It destroys, this Kali Yuga, it destroys all the good qualities of a human being. People become animalistic in this age because of ignorance, because of lack of light from the Bhagavad. Therefore the sages, Pibantiye Bhagavata Atmanak Satam Katha Amritam Shravana Puteshu Samritam. Yes, Pibanti means to drink, those who drink through oral reception. Bhagavad is nectar. Tavakathamritam tapta jivanam kavibiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvigrinanti bhuridajana. The description. Harikatha Tavakatha amritam. It is nectar. Bhavausara Shrotamanobirama is the right medicine for the souls in this disease condition in this age of Kali. Who will not hear this message except a butcher or one who is destroying himself? Atmaha means the killer of the self. We know the soul is eternal. The soul cannot be killed. But by acting in ignorance or violent activities, the soul will become degraded, lose the opportunity. So such persons, they don't develop attraction for hearing Bhagavad Katha. Otherwise, Bhagavad Katha is the glorious activity. So let us hear some more instructions from Bhagavad about work. Yes, solution. Every day people have to work, but we should learn the science of work. Dharmasya hiyapavargyasya narto ritayopakalpati nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Very wonderful. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. Do people know that? That their occupational engagements are meant for liberation? No. People, they just think, I have to get something to eat. So what does that mean? Duipadi pashu, two-legged beast. The thing that makes the human being different from the animals, dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesh. Dharma is the thing that makes the human being different from the animal. Dharma. So here it is saying that your dharma, your occupational duty, all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. Work has to be done according to dharma, according to the principles for the satisfaction of God. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Yes, material gain, whatever comes, yagya, it has to be offered to God. In fact, Krishna says that it is the duty etava janma sapalyam dehinam iha deshu pranair artair dhyavacha shreya acharanam sada. It is the duty of every human being to perform welfare work for the benefit of society in general. How? With their very life. Pranair artair dhyavacha. Pran means your very life. Artha means your wealth. Dhya means your intelligence. Vacha means your words. Everything we have to use it for the progress. Enlightening people about the ultimate destination. For the souls to get a human form and just to get busy eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. What does that mean? Duipadi pashu, two-legged animals. So, those who are enlightened, those who have whatever resources, they should utilize it to further the mission. Srila Prabhupada said, the Western countries, said America, blind, India, lame. He said this combination, lame and blind. India, they're lame. But the spiritual knowledge, yes, the spiritual knowledge. But the Western countries, they're blind. They don't have a clue. So, Prabhupada said, this blind man is stout and strong, but this lame man, he could see. So if he sits on the back of the healthy, strong, blind man, he can give guidance. So Srila Prabhupada demonstrated. He came with the spiritual vision from India. And he got intelligent Americans, intelligent Westerners, use Western technology, and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. This is the brilliance of Srila Prabhupada. He said, I didn't come to America to beg something. People going all over begging, give me this, give me that, give me. He said, I didn't come to beg for something. I came to contribute. I came to give something. And he came to give para upakar, the ultimate, the highest welfare work, which is to deliver the eternal souls, to enlighten them. That the eternal souls, they don't belong to this temporary, miserable world, and they are meant to go back home to the eternal world. Srila Prabhupada came to give the most sublime message, Bhagavad. He said when they hear this message of the Bhagavad, their hearts will become engladdened. Yes, Bhagavad is describing detailed knowledge about God. So let us see how how Bhagavad continues to describe the goals, the life's goal, and how we can attain solution, spiritual solution. Yes, we have many problems, but Bhagavad is the solution. So Bhagavad continues. Kamasya nindriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narto yascheha karmabhi. Very beautiful. Life's desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since the human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's work. So kamasya nindriya pritir labho jiveta yavata. Life's desire should never be aimed at sense gratification, but self-realization. That should be the aim. Rupa Goswami, he said, one should live to keep body and soul together. But his business is spiritual perfection, to conquer over this samsara, this cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. What is the value of spending a whole human form of life piling up this, creating this, building this? Prabhupada said, you've made all these big skyscrapers. You've invented this, you've invented that. Where are you now? Rascal, where have you gone now? Do you know what type of body you're going to get in the next life? So why waste the valuable human form of life? Why run after animal business? Complicate the activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. The animals do these things quite naturally. They don't complicate the activities. But the human beings develop intellect, is meant to go back to the spiritual world, but when the human being misses that point, then the developed intellect, he complicates the eating activity, the sleeping activity, the mating activity. These things, Srila Prabhupada said, were you writing volumes of books on sex? That's hog philosophy. Dogs and hogs, they engage in sex automatically. They don't need volumes of book and videos and this and that. They don't need all of that. These are natural things. So when human beings miss the goal, then the animal propensities just pervades the consciousness. It just pervades, like in Kali Yuga, the sex, the internet, television, novels, movies, you name it, everywhere. So, what can be said? Prabhupada said, simply animal, they have no other business. This is Prabhupada's words. Going naked. Said man, seeing his wife naked every day, but still going to the nightclub, movie, this, that. Simply animal, they have no other business. So here, guidance is given. Life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. Some people are scared. Oh, what kind of philosophy you preaching here? Nobody won't want to hear that. Nobody want to follow that. Well, we could close our eyes and be kicked out of this body in a few years' time if we are not willing to hear. Ye Shastra Vidhim Utsrija. If we give up the Shastra Vidhi and Vartate Kama Karata, we just act according to our kam, our lust. Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti. No perfection, na sukham. We won't be happy either. You think yeah, I'll be happy if I could give up, if I could just stay far away from these religious people. They say don't do this and don't do that, and this not good and that not good. Just get rid of these people. Just keep them far away, and let me just be free to do what I want. Free to become an animal in your next life. One man told Prabhupada, he said, Swamiji, you said about coming, if we don't take up this, you will become a dog in your next life. I want to tell you that, I'd like to become a dog in my next life. Prabhupada said, you have my blessings. Yes, you have my blessings. Fine, become hog, become monkey. He said, the English people, they go to India, they catch some monkeys, and they take out their gland to put in their body to energize their sex life. Take out from one monkey and make another monkey, because they have no other business, sense gratification. So the idea is that if as a human being, we're not willing to do what the scripture says, tapo divyam, perform some divine austerity, some penance, for shuddhi, to cleanse the consciousness, Brahma Sukha, to get spiritual happiness, to Anantam, that is unending, that is eternal. What's the point of running about with developed intelligence in a human form to get the same thing that the dogs and hogs are running after? Can you give human beings credit for that? No, you give human beings credit for getting eternal pleasure. Brahma Sukha to Anantam. But that takes some tapo divyam. So here the point is, life's desires should never be aimed at sense gratification. It should be aimed towards self-realization. So since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's work. That should be the goal of one's work. Now we get to the point. What is that absolute truth that we are talking about? Vadanti tat tatvavidas tatvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan niti shabdyati. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan. Yes, big controversy in the world today because of people's lack of adhikar, eligibility. Some people say, God is a light, He has no form, He has no this. Nirakar, Brahman. Neti, not this, not that. You perceive that aspect of God, Brahman, undifferentiated because of a lack of qualification to go to a higher level. Yogis who are advanced, dhyana vashtita tadgatina manasa pashyantiyam yoginaha. By their dhyan, they can see the second aspect, Paramatma, the super soul. Antaryami, God is present within every atom. Yes, Brahma Samhita says, within Anu, that within every atom, the Supreme Lord is present, within the heart of all beings, as Paramatma. So learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth, know Sarvakaloidam Brahma. They know that God is all-pervading. That's not a secret. Krishna says in the Gita, Maya tatangidang sarvam jagata vyakta murtina. Yes, by me in my avyakta, in my own manifest form, I pervade the entire universe. But we need to have a little brain substance to understand Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshya Rajanatishthati, that the Supreme Lord is seated within the heart and He is directing the wandering of all beings. But Bhagavan means to have complete understanding. Krishna says in the Gita, Yomam evam samudho janati purushottamam sasarvavet Bhajati Mang Sarva Bhavena Bharata. One who knows me as the supreme person without doubting. Sasarvavid Bhajati Mang. He is the knower of everything. Therefore, Bhajati Mang, he worshipped me with all his heart. So this verse is describing what is the absolute truth, how the absolute truth is known, by whom? Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth. They know the absolute truth in these three phases. Brahman, the all-pervasive aspect of God. Paramatma, present everywhere also. And Bhagavan, Premanjana. Lord Brahma says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Jamshama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Lord Brahma prays that I offer my obeisances unto that Supreme Lord, who the devotees whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love, Premanjana, they would see God within the heart. Jamshama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. They'll see that threefold bending form of Shama Sundar. Therefore, Bhagavad is giving total solution, enlightenment about the absolute truth. I'm Rajarsi Dasa saying Hare Krishna, and do join us again next week for a continuing presentation.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.